Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good day, all of you. Let's share the show. Let's share the show. As you join us, share the show. We have some very serious business, serious things to talk today. Um, let's share the show, folks. Let's share the show. As you join us, share the show. Monk will be joining us, Sekou will be joining us, and the rest of the guys will be joining us. Let's share the show, please. We have some very interesting thing that we want to talk about today. What's next for Liberia and Liberians? Um, Monk has been doing some research. I, Sekou, and the rest of the team. And so SKTV here, we want to make some connections as to where this money, the deal, where it originated and all of that. We want to add the pieces up to the Liberian people. We want to bring it to you guys. We want to talk about it. We told the government to tell us, and they're still playing games. So let's let you guys know. And we'll tell you who's the originator of the whole money business or whatever it is. It's bigger than you think. It's deeper. So let's share the show. We want to talk big and deep things today. Before they call it internet Liberia, let's have the conversation. Let's share the show, please. Again, we want to talk big and deep things. As you join us, tell us where you're following us from. As you join us, tell us where you're following us from. Like I said, the team will be joining us here momentarily. As you join us, tell us where you're following us from. Okay, Joseph Elliott is watching us. Joseph Elliott is watching us from Greece. Greece. Joseph Elliott is watching us from Greece. Okay. Who are the Jim Seance is watching us from New Jersey. Let's share the show, folks. Today's show will be very, very interesting. As always, on SKTV, we can talk interesting things. And when we talk it, from the beginning, they can be very over. When we talk it, the news people they in abroad, the Pompey Africa, Daily Observer, whatever it is, they can corroborate. They can report similar things. Let's share the show, folks. Let us share the show. Let's share the show. Let's share the show. Folks, sorry. As I'm getting ready here. I'm getting ready to share the show. Sorry, I have a problem with my. Let's share the show. Anyway, sorry, those of you who haven't recognized it, I will in a minute here. Just give me a second, please. Okay, let's start from the top here to the bottom. Let's start here from the top. So let's bring Sheku on. Sheku is just joining us. Sheku, how are you?
I'm okay, my brother. How are you? How's everything?
Yes, I'm doing very, very, very well. Alpha Mohammed Kaba is watching us from Lofa County, Kolahun district. Man, I don't know if you know about Lofa, but Kolahun, Valhun, Masibalahun, Pobalahun is where I'm from.
Yeah, I don't know much, but sometimes back in 2000, 2008. Yeah, 2007, 2008. I had the opportunity to go to Lofa. I spent 3 days in Vonjama, and I spent few hours in Foyer. And then, yeah, came right back. Few hours in Foyer and came right back. That was 2007. What I know about it is Vonjama, I don't know what I stay is. The place is very, very cool. Very, very cool. Most especially
Yeah,
in, yeah, you live in Vonjama. I have not gone to the United States before, but sometimes people compare the weather when it comes to your cool time there. I remember having a very big blanket. I put that blanket
my man, at
on
the
me.
place you need to move. You need to move there because, yeah, you understand what time it is, right? You need to move there. You need to move to. You need to move to that side of Lofa County.
Hmm.
Let me say to you. You know, move to that side of Lofa County so that you can my man, your skin color got to shine, my man. My man, yeah. Yeah, you looking fat. Yeah, like you for the cool. You don't move there.
That place cool. That place really cool, honestly. Most especially the dry season around November, December. I remember I went there. Ah, come on.
Yeah,
It's really
the time you people all that thing they can you know you want to get any people and thing like that can show but today today we have a big conversation. Monk will be joining us. Siku will be joining us. In fact, we have been doing some investigative report, and Monk will gave us some of the research findings that we've had from behind closed doors to link this entire deal. It's very fascinating and interesting. And we want the Liberian people to listen.
The dream scare you, right?
But
But how be it, us Liberians, we are not afraid of our dream. Because, how come? Look, look, today is a D-Day. How come my brother myself, Sheku Prevent myself wearing the same shirt? No.
You are in solidarity with the government.
Oh, really? Because,
yes. What do you have to do now?
Oh, Jesus. Why agree? Why agree?
No, but what does it mean?
No, because the president said that there'll be no green Liberia, no blue Liberia or Liberia, and there will be no red Liberia or Liberian. How come my brother Sheku and myself were wearing the same green and the people here? If I knew Sheku you're wearing the shirt today, but now I'm finished changing.
But welcome to the show. How are you?
Good. Steve, I'm doing great. Thank God for life. Indeed, we are okay. Everything is okay with me. Just that sometimes my brother, it's not easy though, especially to do babysitting. My brother, it's difficult. I don't know how come. The children.
No. When you go walk up, listen. When you go walk up, you not be on the sun.
No, Shebu, you talk for me. No. I get my lawyer. No, excuse me. I have my lawyer, Sheku Kruma. He will talk for me.
But the man where your lawyer waiting, grand, get out and plead case for you. What are you talking? And the road bar in arena season, so you fall down inside.
Right now, you can move from here. Nah. As we speak, before 12 o'clock, you'll be more.
Correct. Yeah, nah. So I mean, my lawyer is on top of the issues.
Even with the internet cable fiber that they coming shut down tomorrow, you say be more.
And that internet can bring you tomorrow. A motorbike or car can bring you.
Man, why are you discussing your thing? My brother from Lower County Reading Sonny yet. So you from Masbala home? Okay, I see. Yeah, not far from there. My man, you already know in Popala home get the finest mosque in there. That's true. But anyway, folks, welcome to the show. Welcome to today's conversation. We haven't even started yet officially. As always, the Liberian people are the most important people on earth. Today, the conversation, we are going to be discussing what's next for the Liberian people because there's a lot at stake. Listen, don't allow Amin Moda and also representing the conversation to carry anyway. Let's stick with the issue. And the issue here is what's at stake? What Joseph Boakman wants sell. That's the issue. And what's next for you? It is sad, unfortunate, that we still have some sycophants that migrated from the real-led government. Maybe we're getting feedback. They're in a unity party-led government. It is unfortunate, but that's the country we have. But our role is to make sure that we expose some of these facts. So we've been doing the digging behind closed door to find out who them behind the money been. All that South Africa story, all that Dubai, and all the one. We're coming to tell exactly who them behind. We're coming to tell the knee or the guy and the people that behind. We told Joseph Boaka, he might tell the Liberian people what's up with the whole deal. And we told them on the show, they say we're not talking. So let we talking now. And when we talking, let them say that lie. Let them prove us wrong and say that lie. Because the next again, articles then will come out to point to exactly what we are saying. We isa. That says yeah. And I said we're taught tired. I said we will do research tired. And the good thing about it is we'll be vindicated. That's the good thing. The good thing about it is we're not liars. We're not on no propaganda spree here. We're not here to make no propaganda. We're stating facts. And so it left for you guys to do what you want to do. So hey, let's get into the conversation. But before we start, Milbon. But let's start with Sheku. Sheku, how's the country? What's going on? Quickly before you respond, today's the 30th of May. Tomorrow May is over with. Joining us here from Phoenix, Arizona. My name is Steve. As always, the Liberian people are the most important people on earth, but most importantly, the Liberian women are the most beautiful women on earth. Today, we'll talk PPT. Yeah. You call all your politicians in here. Call your leader then. The corrupt one and call them. The one who won't be corrupt, who behind the hall, they can collect money. Call them here. The one who take money already in the deal. Call them here. We'll discuss all of them today. That one SKT we can discuss the issue now. Before they call the internet from your in-law brother tomorrow, we will start discussing the issue here today. We're not worried about you. We're not worried about you. That on SKT, we the one can say the truth. We got the facts here. That's why you can be vexed. By the way, let's hear from you. From the southeast of the country.
All right, okay. Once again, thank you. You already made out to understand where you're coming from in Liberia. You're from Lofa County, a proud son. So you start getting your brothers and sisters already telling you, I'm from Lofa too. They're telling you where they are coming from.
Yes.
I'm from Grand Cape County, from Congo Mano River, Pokpa District. And I found
Which
myself
district?
in Pokpa District in Congo Mano River.
So you're not from King John?
No.
Okay. No, I just wanted to find out, my brother. I'm just a concerned citizen. I'm trying to find out what's going on.
Yeah. So for the Southeast, Grand Juda County, I reported yesterday that things are on course here. The place is peaceful. The superintendent is in Monrovia. What they are doing presently, they are working on having an election for the Chief Council of Liberia. As you all know now, the 2018 approved act that repealed the 2005 Traditional Council Act, or the act that established the Traditional Council of Liberia. They now have an act that was repealed and approved in 2018, and then it was published in 2018. That particular act is now being full swing. In fact, this is where they started now leaving the name of development superintendent. Now they're calling in development officer, fiscal superintendent, financial officer. So there's this election coming up, and that should be this coming Monday, hopefully, for the chiefs, not chief and elders again. So they're now canceling the name Traditional Council. So you will not be hearing Traditional Council again, Liberia. You will now have the name Chief Council in Liberia. So that election is coming up. It's just that some people are calling on the radio and saying that it's a witch hunt. But I went through the act. There should be a national election in Monrovia in January. So those elections that are taking place in the various counties will be able to produce their county heads that will go to Monrovia in January to have the election. So so far, so good. Another news is Jeremiah Gao Sokan, the guy who just won the representative position in Grand Juda County District number 1. He will be here on Monday to break ground for the rehabilitation opening of proposed street, rehabilitating the existing and clearing of the existing streets in Zweju to allow people to have access to a lot of other places as well. So these are issues that are threatening in the county. For the Southeast, I'm here to hear from my colleague, my friends across the other side of the county to tell me exactly what's going on. Yeah, but so far, so good.
Any update from the guy who passed away in his office or who died mysteriously in his office?
Up to now, I'm yet digging that. I have not gotten any real clear information. But from what people say, I don't like what people say. They say there are so many ghost names that when the superintendent at that time asked him to present the listing of staffers under the Ministry of Internal Affairs, I don't know whether it was. I don't want to quote people like that. Yeah, right. But I want to get a clear picture, please.
So you guys have not gotten a clear picture as of yet?
Not yet, up to now, please.
Okay, thank you so much for the update. Milbon, what's going on in the town? What's the latest? What's happening? What's up?
So indeed, Steve, thank you so much. There are so many things going on, especially when it comes to the internet issues, in fact, that you're talking about. So indeed, Liberian wake up this morning, or should I say this afternoon, because the news been out since this morning up to the afternoon time, where some of our people get to understand that, in fact, beginning on tomorrow morning, that will be on the 31st of May at 12 a.m. Uh, there will be disruption of internet due to the repairing of the cable, according to the CCL. That is those groups who are responsible for the internet connection in maybe Africa or including West Africa. So that means Liberia will also be out of internet on tomorrow morning, beginning at 12 a.m. up to 10 p.m. So indeed, these are some of the stories and these are some of the happening, and refugees uh, 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 sorry, Repatriation and Resettlement Commission announces 80% of Liberians returnees from Ghana who are surface drug addictions or who suffer drugs addiction. That means out of the refugees who have been announced quite recently about or be returning back home, most of them are drugs addicts. Most of them, according to the information, some of them are also Zokos, or let's say Zokos. Some of them are mad people, and some of them are people without family members. People, some of them are children, and so on. So, these are things that are happening, and their mixed reaction also with the machine situation, the yellow machine, and so on. But Liberians are resolute. They are still waiting as to whether the government going to make sure that the yellow machine come to Liberia. So they are praying that indeed, if the yellow machine come, uh, that will be a good thing for our country. That means our country will maybe progress or maybe develop. But again, our topic today as to where are we as people on Liberian, that's a very good topic. So Steve and my colleague Shegu, these are happening, and our viewers, our listeners, these are happening back home. So many things, but these are some of the training issues back home in the capital city. And the prices of basic commodities stay the same. Mind you, the rice price climb up now between 4,000, some places, 3,400, some places 3,800, some places 4,000. So that means things are still the same. The US rate is around 195, and just on and on. So far so good.
Yes, I read that piece in the headlines talking about the people who were repatriated to Liberia. Some of them who are Liberians, most of them, and maybe all of them. 80% of them, based on the repatriation boss in Liberia. I think they work. I'm not sure if they work with the immigration or they work with the foreign ministry. I remember. I'm really not sure, but saying that 80% of the people who came as Zogos, they're drug addicts. That's a huge claim. I'm not sure. I got a little concerned about that. Let me say it again. I'm very concerned about that. I'm not sure what the government used to determine that they were addicts, that they were drug addicts. I'm really not sure. I look forward to maybe the data to determine, because it's one thing for you to just label people as 80% of the people who came, let's say 750 Liberians came. If you are talking about 80% of them, that's a huge number. That's a huge percentage. You're talking about maybe pretty close to 500 and plus of them. So that's concerning to me and for me. I don't know, Sheku, what say you about that? Because that was disturbing when I saw it yesterday, to just burn and label people as addicts without, we haven't seen the documentation say that's to substantiate those claims. Go ahead.
The first thing it does is that it puts fears in citizen areas. I mean, or citizens who live in that particular area.
Right.
That's why it does. And it makes other people to feel that, let's just say it allows stereotypes
Exactly.
around other people. Because if you label someone as a drug addict, and I have a family pricing there. You already make other people to be afraid of being in my own community that I have not been in Ghana. So
Yes.
I don't think that statement was appropriate at that particular time. Most precise, what yardstick did he use? What testing machine did he bring to test the people? Do you care to know that the lives of those people who have come are already in serious jeopardy? You're making people to understand that anything that happened in that area, people start it. So the security of that particular community or wherever they're living, they will always live in fears because it came from someone very prominent who spoke it out. So I don't know why people just speak because you have an official spokesperson. You should have gone to meeting, discuss these things, and look at the risks involved. If we say this, how people will take these groups that have already here. What can we do? How can we manage this information? What intervention? Can we these drugs then, if it is true, can we immediately provide skill training opportunity? After 6, 7 months, can we provide startup kits to see how best they can live their life? But who exactly are you coming to bring those kind of people to right now? We already live in a community where we refer to people as Zogos, disadvantaged youth, and the very same high-profile government official allegedly are infusing these things in the country to make money. And you are calling these kind of people, the names you refer to them. For me, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. And if people will agree with me, there is a need to ask him to retract his statement. Let him come up to tell us what analysis based on what equipment that were used to prove that these people, or those people who are in the country, are all drugs addicts.
Okay. Thank you so much. Mark, welcome to the show. How are you? And let me pose the question to you quickly before we move on into our segments for today. What say you? Front Page Africa, credit to them, reports on the headline for I think today that one of the headlines states that it's reported that 80% of the Liberians that came from Ghana are reportedly drug addicts. What say you? And
I saw that article, but I kind of escaped it because I just thought it was silly and unprofessional. That you got people that are going through some kind of a psychological trauma. You've been out of the country for decades, for years, and the transitioning process alone is something that will be hard for them to process. And immediately upon landing in their own country, they are being branded as drug addicts. How do you even from Page Africa, to their credit, they've been doing a lot of investigative journalism in recent time. I'm not saying that they don't engage in the investigative journalism, but I mean, for the most recent article, they've been going beyond the call of duty. They've been digging deep. And
right.
when I saw the article this morning, I read the headline, skip it. I just thought it was more than insulting. It was denigrating. It made no sense. It's very unprofessional.
More quickly, let me just punch something in, and you go ahead. That statement was made. That statement that Front Page Africa took to for an article was made by the LRRC boss. He's the head that breaking the people in the country. He's supposed to provide statement that will even make the people to feel free, because for a couple of years they've not been in the country. They've been traumatized. There are processes that they're going through that they need to be de-traumatized. They need to be welcomed back to their country. But if you who bringing people in the country, you make such a statement, I think that article is all about, interpreting or saying things that the LRRC boss said.
Okay.
That's, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
I mean, the thing is, I'm now a social scientist like Steve. Steve, you know these things. I mean, the fact of the matter is, you understand the psychological impact. You got people that will be introduced to a new country or new society, even though they are originally Liberian, but some of them were even born in Ghana. They don't even know Liberia. And the very first thing, immediate upon landing into the country, you start giving them this negative stereotype. You start bringing them like, how can the LRRC boss even start? I mean, like, well, that's Liberia. Everything is possible, That's Liberia for you. I tell you, everything that happened in Liberia can only happen in Liberia and nowhere else on the planet. Those are one of the instances right there. I mean, you got that.
Well,
Yeah, I didn't
well,
go into the article.
Monk,
The headline alone was very disrespectful to me. It was very denigrating, so I just skip it. I didn't even read the content of that particular article. I just skip it.
Monk, in as much that you guys are saying this is bigger than, just the everyday thing. And you guys are right. The issue of repatriation, migrating from one place to another, just the fact that you are returning to your own country and you are even kept in tents, like people on refugee camps or other places. The hardship in the country. I believe there should be some apologies issued to these people, to these Liberian people who have come, and it has become a serious embarrassment and a problem. But something also before we get into the research conducted by Monk, and we've been following some of it, Monk and the rest of the team here on SKTV, we have been digging deeper into this conversation because we told you that we're going to follow up as to who them behind the whole yellow machine, web machine, whatever machine you want to call it. It doesn't matter, right? What is the actual deal? What is really going on? But something that I just want to chime in really quick, just for a minute, because we got to spend more time on this and move on. President Joseph Yuma Boakai left from Liberia, spent almost $2 million United States dollars a few weeks ago to come to the U.S. for a registered summit in the U.S. where anybody could walk in or anybody could go there. You didn't have to be anybody of high profile, whatever. As long as you could pay the registration fee and get yourself there, commute there, or however you want to do it, you could do it. It was open to the public. But there seemed to be some criticism of Joseph Yuma Boakai not attending the African Development Bank annual meeting. What are you guys' take? Let's take a minute or so, wherein at least 13 African countries will be there. Some of these countries will be our neighbors. We could learn from them some of the things that they do, how they're managing the economy, whether it's Ghana or the Ivory Coast, that they have good economy as we speak. What are some of the strategies, people that you could partner with, link up with your African brother and sister right there. That one has small money. It's held in Kenya. The Kenyan president also just came from here, red carpet, roll out to him. And so, what say you guys? What would be your reaction to that? His absence from
concerning what?
He refusing to go to this meeting. What he's been receiving backlashes and criticism from some people that, hey, you need to be over there. This concerns.
Which meeting? The one that is in Kenya. What was the function of that meeting? Because I haven't been following that whole details.
So it is a summit for the African. Okay. Yes, at that summit, President Joseph Yuma. Some people have been criticizing that he didn't go there. Why he's not going there? He came to the one on this side. What is you guys' reaction?
Well, I haven't been following up that whole meeting update as to the importance of it. Maybe they weighed their option after coming from the US and going to Guinea-Bissau. Maybe they thought that they got so much on their plate at home to start skipping some of those meetings. Because I guess if it was that important, he was going to attend. Right. Because the one that was, it was just like an open interaction. Because I know, I said it on the show before, when real investors meet, most of those deals are already done behind the scene. Anything that the public is invited, just for the beauty contest, I don't think I would give it too much of a magnitude in terms of what the president can derive, because it was a public event. So when you're talking about real business meeting, those boys, they hang here behind closed door, they make phone calls, they get the details of the deal already in place. So when you see them in the public, then just for the photo op, but the deal's already happening behind the scene. So maybe the president weigh his option and be like, you know what, even though it's happening in the African continent, I don't think it's that serious. Because if we're really, really serious, if there was any potential for some kind of a return on investment, I guess he was going to attend by all means. But maybe he weighed his option and decided to skip that meeting.
Let's
yes. Most especially in the kinds of highly politically period, where every step the president takes, it has to be politicized. People will have to tell the government or the president how much he used to travel and how much he's bringing back. So we do not know exactly what happened, that the president wasn't there, or apparently there was nobody there representing Liberia. But
Sarah Beslow went.
Okay, fine. So what happened to that? I mean, if the president didn't go, then what happened? Let's see. Let's see.
Yep. But Sheku, just before we get into the nitty gritty of the conversation for today, I wanted to disagree with you on something that you said. That when a president takes steps, people want to ask what he brought, and you term it as politically motivated. I don't think this is political.
Motivated. I said this kind of highly political time we're living in.
No, you did say when the president travels, it's politicized.
That's what I said.
You said when he travels, people politicize it.
I said this kind of highly political time that we're living. When the president traveled, everybody wants to know what he went out for and what he's bringing and how much money he paid to go out there. That's what I'm saying.
Don't you think that's fair in terms of accountability and transparency? That we should know what he went, the trip he went on, what he brought back. Basically that investment. The president not paying his own way, and not private thing going on. So it is the Liberian people's right, it's all of us right to inquire and to ask the president and the government at large to say, hey, you went to Ivory Coast. What was the purpose of going to Ivory Coast? It can be top secret. It can be something that hidden because they're public official. That's why it's called public official. So the president is entitled to making us know why he went there, how much he got from there, what he brought from there. This is not a joke. I just wanted to point that out.
No problem with that. I mean, everybody has the right to ask the president where he went out and what he brought. We all have the right to do that. But sometimes if the president feels that it's not necessary to go somewhere, people will still come back and say, look, other country went there, but Liberia didn't go there. So what I'm saying here is that there's no way the president will be able to please everybody anyway. The president will do what is best for the country, and when he feels that is best for the country, that's what he's going to do.
That's true. I want to agree with the last part of your statement. But Bonk, we have been on SKTV. We've been digging into this whole situation. You've done credit to you and the rest of the team behind closed door. You guys have done some extensive research on establishing what's really going on with the whole 1 million is the deal from South Africa, the guy in South Africa. Another mini is a deal with the Wologisi Mountain. Another mini is the Putu Mountain. Another mini, it's reported that 600 million and Mamaka ability is, and the term as Mamaka abilities 6 million. That's the thing, that's it. So Mark, let's break this down. And want to spend time listening to you, and I will be asking some further questions in order to delve into this, and then we can get some reactions. Hopefully, Siku will join us very soon as well. We can get some reactions and get to the phone as well, because the goal here today is to ask the Liberian people what's next for Liberia. First of all, Mark, what's at stake? What's online? What did you discover? What did you find out in your research?
Yeah, the thing that caught my attention recently, it was the same way that our administration started with this concession agreement. And when you go do some background check, there are a lot of red flag over this so-called potential investor. And you can remember the Ebomath and the Inter deal. That's why I keep saying Front Africa did some very interesting investigative reporting in recent time. And the article from day before yesterday actually caught my attention. The reason it caught my attention because you got two of the largest deposits of iron ore in Liberia, right? Which is the Wologisi Mountain and the Putu Mountain in Grangeda County. So my question was, what actually piqued my attention was, we are now a skill-based economy. We are now a capital-intensive economy. We are now a manufacturing-based economy. The only thing we always depend on Liberia, we got natural resources, which is raw material that we always exchange for investment into the country. So the question I asked myself, if two of these mountains will be mortgaged or given away, what will be left for the future generation in Liberia? What can we say would be like in terms of resources that we can point out to be like, what? At least we got something reserved that we can use to, to trade in order to improve the living standard of our people. Because you're talking about the Putu Mountain, you're talking about anywhere between 4.2 billion metric tons, right? If that's
Mark, let me hold you there. Let me hold you quickly because I want this part to be clear. Are you saying that the Joseph Yuma Bwaka administration wants to sell both mountains simultaneously? That means together? That's what it means. And matter of fact, for the Putu Mountain, there have been some agreement in place dating back to 2012 and 2011 from Madam Salif administration. It's just that they were giving licensing to other corporations like smaller company, and the bigger boys came and bought those rights. But
I would like to read this short article from the front page Africa so people can get an idea.
So quickly, let me ask you before you read that. So let me ask you before you read the excerpt from the article.
Yeah.
Because I know I would like to bring you back to this company in Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know we spend time on it, telling the Liberian people in the world at large who's behind this company in Dubai, what's really going on. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Hold on here. Here's what the front page Africa says. It says Mamaka's 600 million snafu. That's the type. That's the caption of this article. It said documents in front page Africa possession reveals that the Liberian government attempt to enter into an agreement with the Pioneer Group LLC, PGL, to allow the PGL to take over the Putu Iron Ore Mine and its assets valued at $2 billion. Right? That's what they're telling you, $2 billion.
Yeah, 2.3. Yeah, 2.37 billion.
Yeah, before the accusation, PGL will pay a non-refundable fee to the government amounting to $600 million, but National Investment Commission rejected it. That's what got my attention. Wow. So let's stop there just a little bit, because I want us to take this thing step by step for it to make more sense to the listeners or to the viewers, right? So first thing, the national concession, or the guys who are responsible for all these different concessions and deals, they haven't even spoken about the legislature yet. Yeah.
The national concession, which is, I believe, under the executive.
Yes, it's an executive agency.
Off the bat, that means the president gets to appoint whoever is in charge, say, when I agree with that. Why do you think it was so, Monk?
Well, there should be, from my own little background, I know that there was something that is not right about this deal in terms of maybe the money aspect or the kind of the clause in this contract or clauses in this contract. Because the one question you will ask yourself, the National Investment Commission was established for a reason, right? They are the one responsible for investment when it comes about promoting Liberia, when it comes to advocating and strengthening domestic and the private sector. That's what the National Investment Commission is all about. But in this Bakala administration, you're looking at a lady who is considered to be the Minister of State without portfolio. When you go and do a background on a particular position, started from the British government, the president will be like a help to the chancellor in the British parliamentarian system, right? In our system, the Minister of State without portfolio, she doesn't have a specific responsibility. Matter of fact, she is not responsible for any particular function of government. Again, the one you call government boom, like they can get pussy all over the place. So if you're talking about contract that worth to the tune of billions of dollars, why would such a lady be the one always in the headline?
So what you're saying, Monk, in essence, the position Mamaka Ability occupies right now, is more like the horse get or the horse ball for the president.
Yes.
You know what?
She doesn't have no responsibility.
You bring it, go run around, take the one from here, please get me the one. Basically, they're assisting, they're helping. They're not in the capacity of the Minister of State.
Yes.
Okay.
But every time when the major concession, she is the one that sees the headline. Matter of fact, according to the article, she was the one even pressuring the National Investment Commission to sign up on the thing. That's why I thought, like, well, what's going on here? You don't have a responsibility in government. You won't be held for anything in the government because a specific role was never defined that you will control. How can you be the one pushing deals for the country resources? I don't get it. But let me just continue so people can get a sense, and then the other guys can chime in a little bit. People can follow up. There's a front page Africa I gathered from confidential documents and sources that the Liberian government has been opting through an agreement to allow Pioneer Group, a company based in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, to take over the Putu iron ore mine in southern Liberia. The Putu iron ore mine in Grenjile represents one of the largest iron ore reserves in Liberia in the world, having estimated reserve of 2.37 billion tons of iron ore grading 34.1% iron metal, which means it's one of the top level iron ore in the world. We're talking about high grade iron ore, because when you're talking about 34.1% of iron material, then it means a high grade iron ore, right? The company signed a mineral development agreement during the regime of Madam Salif on September 10, 2010, committing itself to impact in the region, in which minerals are developed, including facilitating growth centers and education for sustainable regional development, to create more employment opportunities, to encourage and to develop local business, to ensure that skills, know-how, and technology are transferred to citizens of Liberia to acquire basic data, regarding and relating to the country's mineral resources and to preserve the rehabilitate the natural environment for future development. Those are offensive things. They usually don't even follow up on it anyway. They said document in front page African possession revealed the Liberian government attempted enter into an agreement between the panel group to allow the PGL to take over the Puto and Oman. They said front page Africa gathered the agreement was broke up by the Minister of State without portfolio, Mamaka Kaba, and a husband, a successful businessman. The minister.
So wait. Because first of all, let's hold on to that because
yes,
that is interesting.
Yeah.
What is the role of Mamaka Kaba's
husband? Why they got to
in relations to the government? Because this is huge conflict of interest.
Yes.
Mamaka Kaba is the senior Aaron guy.
Yeah.
That's the way we running around. You know, and be doing funny thing in it, right? We agree with that one. It's already been established.
No, 1 minute quickly, gentlemen. Let me just pop him quickly. For the Minister of State without portfolio a role.
Mm-hmm.
She's a very important person in that office of the president. She's not just somebody who can just be chonk-so and go do this. She got 3 or 4 cardinal responsibility. The fact that this particular position was created on May 8, 1972 with the executive branch of government and the act of the national legislature. And the primary purpose of the creation of this ministry is to assist the president to administer affairs of the states, to administer the affairs of the states. The mandate and scope of this ministry has expanded and continued to expand since its creation. Outstanding among the numerous responsibility of the Ministry of State portfolio include listing the organization of incidental activities of the president, especially as they relate to local government and international matters. So she got something to prompt in with international matters. Legislative liaison, she liaises the legislature and the executive. Legislative liaison coordinating activities between the executive branch of government and the national legislature. Handling matters emanating from statutory and non-statutory commission, as well as matters before the president for non-governmental organization, and liaising with political parties and appropriately advising the president on multi-party interaction. So this position is a very important position. Very important.
So let's go back to something. Go back to something. This position was created by solely responsible for her to work directly with the president. That's the first aspect of it. Now, every other thing that is formed around it, that means what if all factors stay constant? And that's why Sekou was on the show, the rest of us on the show, and we openly on SKTV sent a request or a challenge to the president of the Republic of Liberia, President Joseph Yuma Boaga, to fire Mamaka Kaba. You know why he wouldn't fire her? Because of 2 major reasons. If we keep all factors constant based on what you've just read, that means just like Yuma Boaga gave her the go ahead to do any deal, every deal. The deals that she did was not on her own. Whoever she met with, whatever negotiations they had, whatever issues they had going on, Joseph Yuma Boaga is fully in their wellness, and she got his blessings and acquiescence. These are facts. If we go, let's keep what you read. But
nothing Mamaka ever did that the president was not aware, because she solely assists the president on matters relating to international and national issues.
Wonderful. I'm glad that we're establishing this, because when we get to the bottom of this, then it means it links the president directly to this. It also extends, her position also extends as far as her negotiating with lawmaker or the legislature. So we can also imply. Say again, please.
She is a liaison. Yes.
Exactly. So what that means also, that means this could be implied. I mean, this is allegedly. On this one, we say allegedly. Allegedly, maybe 1 or 2 members of the legislature are aware of this deal. Because if it comes from the president, members of the legislature, again, maybe they're aware of it. But thank you for that part. She's not a senior errand girl. as all woman are supposed to be. But one of the questions that comes in also, this is her role. How did her husband come into this? How did her husband get involved into this? Is he a contractor with the government? What is his role? You understand? And so these are all conflicting things. These are all conflict of interest and problems that can emanate, that can come up within the government. But let's move forward. Let's go ahead. We have established that the president is aware already.
Let me tell you something. There are activities you perform in government. There's something called roles and responsibility. What he just named, that's what we call her a freestyler. She is not responsible or duly responsible for anything that will happen in government, in as much that the activity she can perform. Let me give you one example. If there are monetary problem or exchange rate, I can hold the central bank governor accountable for that. That's a specific role and responsibility. In the case of Mama Kankaba, she is not responsible for anything in government. In as much as she can do something here, do something there, she cannot be held responsible for anything because a particular role was never given to her. And there was never a time in the history of Liberia that a minister of state with our portfolio will be engaging into sensitive, lucrative deals when it comes to the country's resources. Never, ever. That's the thing. So just because he talked about responsibility that was given her, no, she still is not responsible for anything in government. So if a deal was to break down, I cannot go home, Mamanka Kaba, I mean, or I don't know, accountable for anything. I can hold a commerce minister responsible for something. I can hold a port manager accountable. I can hold a central bank governor. In her case, you cannot hold her for anything because there is no specific
No,
but in her case,
negotiation stage. It hasn't come to a point where people have to put pen to paper for an agreement. If you look at her role,
contradicting herself. So how can she pressure the National Investment Commission on concession agreement?
It is alleged. It is alleged.
Oh, okay.
Now, who knows what the National Investment Commission also thinking? Who knows? Apparently, the National Election Commission is also asking for a court before he can sign, and they say we won't give you court because this is a non-refundable fees of a 600 million. So who knows?
Then we can say whatever the legislature passed, that particular thing that they passed or they brought up, we can say it cannot oversee or supersede the Constitution. In Article 57, is the president. Wait. I beg you, give me a second, Sylvie. Let me make this point, please, because I don't want to lose my train of thought. We can't say Mama Kaba has the president's authority to go and negotiate on behalf of the Liberian government. In this situation, the way you are presenting it and the way the government has presented it is more or likely so Mama Kaba was the one doing the negotiation. But in Article 57, it gives the president the authority to do that. So now it should have been the president doing this. The fact that the president delegated this task to Mama Kaba in itself is a problem. It's a constitutional violation. It should have never been done.
Can I share something with you guys? Can I share something with you guys quickly on the screen?
Please.
Let me share something quickly. It's from the Executive Mansion. Sorry. Let me share something quickly. It's from the Executive Mansion website right now. What I'm saying. So let me see if I can share this with you. I just want us to keenly read this. This is from the Executive Mansion of the Republic of Liberia. This is the work of the Minister of State without portfolio. Look at it.
Well, okay, let me put it on the screen there. Give me a second. I'm not sure why it's not showing. Just give me 1 second here. It's loading there.
I was like, you gave us consent yesterday, but they actually need to. So we're gonna go and find you later. Thank you. We'll run all this back down. Bye, Mr. Bye. See you later, alligator.
Sorry, folks. Let me see if I can add it there. I'm not sure why it's not adding. Yeah, it's not adding, folks, because Sheku, who uploaded it, he got frozen, and so that's why it's not adding. But Sheku will come back. We'll keep the document. Yes. So once the person adds it from the end, and it. But Monk, let's keep on with the conversation till Sheku comes up, because Article 57 of the Constitution states clearly that the president is supposed to negotiate on behalf of the country, And if the president is supposed to negotiate, the president cannot delegate that responsibility. So at the end of the day, you cannot shield President Joseph Yuma Boaga from this deal. No, you can't. No, you can't. If Mamaka Kaba was the one, Mamaka Belete Kabayo, sorry. If Mamaka Belete is the one doing this negotiation, that means we have a problem on our hands. We have some very, very serious and big problems on our hands. But Monk, are you there? I had to mute Monk. I know there was noise from his back.
Yeah, I'm here. Hold on one second. Just give me a minute because I was reading that article. I wanted to complete it before, and then we can expand on it. But Sego took me off track a little bit.
Yes, we need to complete it really quick, and because I want us to get into the findings to make the connection to these guys, who these guys are, and where it really comes from.
Okay, hold on one second here.
This is very interesting, folks. If you are just joining us, this is SKTV. Today we're getting into the whole money pin and where the thing coming from. The quagmire that we are in as a country and as a nation, especially the future. And I'm saying, yo, who saw your goddamn already, your better driven prison watching, but now you are talking about your better driven sycophants, politicians who don't want to eat today and forget about the future. No, that's not what we're talking about. Because we got a whole generation after us. We got a group of people that's supposed to come. If you sell the Putu Mountain and the Wologisi Mountain, if you sell both of them, right now, only because you want to get some kind of money in your pocket, we have nothing. We have no more future. We are done. We are done as a country because we have nothing to offer. And so those guys will just pocket the money. When they put the money in the pocket, then you will suffer as a country. Who you come here to track?
Okay, let me complete right. It said Front-Page Africa had gathered that the agreement was reportedly brokered by the Minister of State with our portfolio, Mistress Mama Kakaba, and her husband, a successful businessman. The minister, according to a report, has been maneuvering a more relevant cabinet member to sign off the deal. However, the agreement, which appeared to be laden with shortcomings, met a state resistance from the National Investment Commission. Effort to reach Mamanka Belete did not materialize, so Front-Page Africa tried to contact her. Front-Page Africa are also seeing a memorandum of understanding signed this year between the government and the Pioneer Group LLC, the PGL, for the transfer of the PROM, I think it's the Putu Mountain something, or mining concession to this. The Minister of Lands, Mines and Energy, Mr. Wilmer Pay, the Minister of Finance, Development and Planning, Boyman Kamara, and the Minister of Justice, Oswald Twe, signed on behalf of the government of Liberia, while Mr. C.R. Dean, the board chief and executive officer of Pioneer Group, signed on behalf of the company. So with me, they already got something memorandum of understanding between the two. So the D is
so that kicks off the point that Sekou wanted to make, that the deal is still going on, whatever it is. No, we have key people who have already signed. So the deal is in effect.
Yeah.
That also throws huge problem on the session that Delon made the other time, that they never signed anything yet and they're still negotiating. No, they're not true. They're not negotiating nothing.
They already got
the Minister in place. Minister of Lands and Mines and Energy already signed. And the Minister of Finance already signed. The key people that are supposed to sign from the executive side to make this deal effective and rolling, they already signed. And they didn't tell you anything about it. You don't know anything about the deal. They signed behind the horse. Go ahead, Monk.
So, okay, and the guy representing the Pioneer Group too, C.R. Dean, the board of chief Pioneer Group, also signed on behalf of the company. However, Mr. Jeff Blebo, the chairman of the National Investment Commission, declined to sign off the deal despite reported pressure by Minister Belete. Attempt by Front-Page Africa to contact Mr. Blebo on why he refused to sign the memorandum of understanding was unsuccessful. His phone kept ringing endlessly without response. Then they came to the terms and conditions of the memorandum of understanding. In the memorandum of understanding, the Pioneer Group committed. That's why the D is already in place. They got money, they got figure already set up in place in this memorandum of understanding. They say in the memorandum of understanding, the Pioneer Group committed to investing $2 billion as more clearly, and also committed to paying the government of Liberia an amount of $600 million for the transfer of the PORM concession, right? Deposited by the government within 10 days following the execution of the memorandum of understanding. The PGL shall deposit $155 million US. The initial deposit, the initial deposit, 155 of the 600 million into an escrow account. The agreement called for the PGL within 10 days following the execution of the agreement to deposit 165 million into an escrow account as initial deposit to the government. Additionally, as one of the effective date of the concession transfer agreement, the MOCTA, the PGL will transfer the balance of 500 million to the government, which will enable the government to grant a 2-year moratorium, after which the PGL will transfer the due balance of $500 million to the investment amount in the government in 2 transfer payment over the following 2 years. That's what the memorandum of understanding is all about. So the $2 billion, they're splitting it now. The initial deposit, 500 million here, another 165 million, then another 500 million to follow. So when you put all together to meet that $2 billion, I think over 10 years or whatsoever. This payment, according to the agreement, will be made into the government consolidated account. The balance of $1.4 billion, 1.4 billion United States dollars, and in addition, funding from the money operation outside sources will be set aside for the construction of the port, the airport, as well as the railroad paved road to the POIM, which is the Putu Mountain, to the new port of Greenville, Sano County. The government, however, according to the memorandum of understanding, shall terminate after 90 days in the event that the PGL is unable to get the consent of the agreement of Severstor, or Severstor is unwilling to transfer its mineral development agreement. So they are conditioned that if they cannot meet within 90 days, because Severstor, this Russian-owned corporation, is the parent company now of the.
So let's hold on to that. Let's get to the Severstor.
Yes.
Let's look into.
But let me just finish it again. One more paragraph left for it to be done.
Okay, please go ahead.
However, from West Africa gathered that PGL is ashamed and has no history of making any investment anywhere into the war. This is what got my attention as well to go deep. From West Africa gathered that the deal is being pushed through a U.S. sanction on, U.S. sanction on Alexa Modashov, the owner of the Putu Iron Ore Mountain, Corporation, have put the steel magnate empire in peril. The move against the 56-year-old Modashov and his family in June 2022 come after the European Union imposed sanctions against the tycoon and his steel makers Severstor in early March of this year. And this is where the whole detail come in. This Dubai-based company, the PGL, it's a cover or it's a fake. It's not a real corporation.
So let's look at the PGL.
Yeah.
So the company that Joseph Boakai, Mamaka Kaba, Belete, Women Pay. What call the names? Women Pay, because all of them sounded
the memorandum of understanding now.
All of them sounded memorandum of understanding.
Yeah.
You're listening. Your elected official from the president to your energy mines or whatever it is, BME, to your Minister of Justice. They signed a deal, the deal that is signed already with the people, the MOU that is signed with the people, the Pioneer Group, the PGL. This is a cover-up group.
Yes.
The main people who own a group here, they came from through Dubai. More, go ahead, please.
And there's where the whole thing, the shady aspect came in. The Severstor is a big-time Russian corporation that was owned by this billionaire. He worth to the tune of 25.4 billion, according to Forbes listing. I check it out. He's the one that controls this Severstor. He's the owner of the iron ore magnet. He's an iron ore magnet, right? So because he's sanctioned, when you go to the U.S. Office of Foreign Assets Control, he's listed as a sanctioned individual. So it means even though he holds initial right by buying this POIM, which is the Putu Mountain, agreement, he cannot do business now because don't forget this deal go back as far as 2010, Madam Selif administration. Yeah, it's the thing. At the time, Reuters even reported a story that they were looking for other partners because at the time iron ore price has dropped tremendously. I think it was anywhere between $35 to $45 a ton. But right now, iron ore, according to speculators, I checked both the industrial metal index, I checked the Bloomberg report, and I checked the Financial Times. Now the speculators are saying that within the next 18 months, the price of iron ore, the price of a ton of iron ore will go to as much as $124. Right? So think about 2.34 billion tons of iron ore at that rate. It's no small money. Now he wants to come back to complete this deal, but guess what? He's sanctioned. So he's using this PGL as a cover-up now to do the bidding for him. You seen it?
Because he can't come directly.
Yeah, because it's almost like you put another extra layer so you already sanctioned. That's why it is. But then guess what, man? This guy, this Russian billionaire, he's like I said, he's the parent company. So if you go back to 2012, Severstal, the same Russian company that was prior to his sanction, they purchased another mining company that had right in that same Putu mountain they call Afero, Affero. You know how much they pay in 2012?
No.
They paid the Liberian government $122 million for 4.4, and their initial assessment said the Putu mine had in excess of 4.4 billion tons of iron ore, and they were going to be operating within 425 square kilometers for exploration. So they made an initial deposit. So this whole deal is an extension of something that's been going on already. The only difference is he cannot participate in the deal because he's sanctioned. That's how he came with the Dubai group to play the cover up and to do the accusation for him. But the Front Page Africa reported the PGL is a fake corporation. It does not exist. It only providing protection for this Russian billionaire because he's sanctioned. That's exactly what's happening here. Maybe that could be a potential reason why the National Investment Commission, I don't know, I don't want to speculate about that, but that could be a potential red flag. That's exactly what happened.
Monk, let's go slow and break this. I'm not sure if Milborn is still there because we don't want to have this conversation out of the radio. It's very, very important. I'm not sure if Milborn is still there. Let me see if he's still there. Milborn, can you please let us know if you guys are going for the new break, the news bulletin or whatever it is? Could you please let us know? I didn't get any signal about it. But Monk, what does this say though? Mm-hmm. The fact that these guys would use a third party or more like an emissary, get somebody to come to be the middle person. Let me see. Okay, I think they're on a news break. No one just alerted us. Monk, what does that say? The fact that they would use a middle person called the PGL, which does not even exist. The PGL, the whole PGL thing is a lie, does not exist.
Yeah,
What does that say about the Joseph Yuma Boaka government? What does it really say?
I don't know, because I don't know what to say, because Joseph Boaka was also in government when this initial deal was signed in 2012. He was the vice president. Matter of fact, he was the president of the Senate. And I think under Madame Sely was doing business with real investors and people that were considered eligible to buy into concessions agreement. But this time around, I don't know why he would want to deal with a shady corporation just to provide protection for someone who's been sanctioned by the U.S. government. So that alone tell us that the president is into criminal and shady dealing, because if the U.S. and the European Union, you see, these are some of the things that can put pressure on us. We cannot attract investment, right? You look at a man, and I guess they are fully aware that this Russian oligarch is sanctioned by both the U.S. government and European Union. I'm not talking about that. But the question is, for a man like Joseph Boaka, who's more experienced, knowing fully aware that there are sanctions, why would he even want to get into an agreement or into a deal that this PGL corporation from Dubai that is not even real, that's only providing a cover up to a sanctioned individual? I don't get it. But there will be people who will justify the same way they justify the administration. We need the money, we need the investment so we can do anything and ignore the unintended consequences. I don't get it.
Well, but this is concerning though, because these guys are sanctioned, and you have the Liberian government doing deal with these guys, and it is the Liberian government's right to do due diligence before even engaging into any kind of agreement with them. It is the Liberian government responsible to do that. And if you got a company that is sanctioned, a Russian company that is sanctioned, or a Russian guy that is sanctioned, and you are doing deals with him, what are we getting into, Monk, as a country and as a people? What are we getting into? What are we setting ourselves up for?
And there's what happened, right? When the first time, when several stuff bought the Putu man from a Affero mining company, when they paid $122 billion, from the initial assessment in 2012, the total investment capital should have been $3.5 billion in investment capital. But guess what happened? At the time, there was a tremendous drop after the Ebola crisis. The iron ore price, it dropped. So what he was trying to do was, he didn't want to come up with $3.5 billion. He was looking for other partners, and to limit his risk, because we're talking about exploration. Some of these deals, you exploring, you pay the money down, you hoping that you can get this, but maybe you go to the exploration, you might fall short. So according to him, in the article that I did, from the Reuters news, he said that the iron ore price fell, so he was not intending to put $3.5 billion offer in investment capital. So they were looking for other corporations, partnership to cover up for this. But at the time, it wasn't worth the investment, so they put it on hold technically, even though he had it right.
But Monk, do you think they're revisiting this deal because there's the prospect that iron ore prices could go up on the world market, and so they want to rush? They want to rush
from $50 a ton to $112 now, and you could go to as more as $124 in the.
But that's what I'm saying. And they're looking at the prospect, so they want to rush this deal to lock the Liberian government in, even though they are corrupt. They're a sanctioned group of people, lock the Liberian government in. They will benefit more by the iron ore that they will get from them to sell it on the world market. They will make more profits. They will make more money. Why would just get the I don't know, the peanuts or whatever you might term it as.
And this is why he's trying to rush the deal, that he would do anything, because he believed that the profit potential is higher at this time based on the price. And matter of fact, he won't need other partners because he believes now that the price is at the actual stage for him to put the investment into it. But guess what? He's already sanctioned. So that's why I brought the Dubai company or whatsoever mining company, this fake company they call the Pioneer Group LLC, some limited liability company, to come in and do the bidding for him. So technically, that's exactly what he's doing. Man, thing here with the Joseph Parker government. And my question is, we want to know why the National Investment Commission is refusing this deal. That's the thing people should be asking. That's the question.
Well, probably the National Investment Commission has done the due diligence, and they know who these guys are. They know this is not going to reflect on the government. And I want to say to the National Investment Commission, the leadership, the entire team, I want to say thank you so much, because had they not stood in front of this, probably time they didn't go through. Had they not resisted or refused to sign, time they the thing gone through. I want to say big kudos to them. Once in a while, people make sacrifices for their country. These are people you call patriotic people. The fact that this person refused to sign, and Mamaka Belede keeps pressuring this person.
I'm not going to, sorry for calling, I'm not going to repeat that Musa Belede mistake. I don't want to call them patriotic. I want to know the reason why they are rejecting this deal first before I can call them patriotic. Maybe about the same money sharing, that because they are not trying to get their share from the initial deposit or down payment. So who knows? So I can say they are patriotic. We want to know why the National Investment Commission is refusing, and why this Minister of State with our portfolio is the one pressuring to sign this deal. Why?
Well, Monk, I agree with you that it's good to know the details, right? But I'm saying the action, the fact that they did not get into this deal, the fact that they refused to sign it right now, saved us to some extent. Let's be honest, because they could have signed it and get into negotiations, right? And like you said, yes, it's fair. It's fair to know that. It's fair to know why they did not sign it. It's very, very important. In fact, we must know that. But the action, the step that they take to not sign it, help us a lot, because the thing would have gone through. This particular deal would have gone through overnight. And so, to be quite honest, I want to shine light on them. And I will hope that they did not do it. Maybe they did a due diligence. I will hope so. Maybe because they did a due diligence. But Monk, we got a sanctioned Russian guy who wants to do this business in the country. It draws huge red flag to what's going on in Africa. Basically, it seemed like the scramble of Africa back in the days. And we have our government who's engaging with a sanctioned Russian guy. What does that say from an international standpoint?
That's why over the coming days and weeks, we'll be looking to hear from our lawmakers, because there's a blatant violation that put the country at risk as well when it comes to investment, because we know when it comes to international aid and other things in the U.S. government, I'm not saying, I mean, America and Russia got their own geopolitical problems, but I know if the European Union and the U.S. is going to put a sanction on this guy, and knowing fully where you bring in some shady corporation to provide a protection or a shield for him to acquire this particular money, right, from a backdoor standpoint, then why would the president engage into this? But you know what they will tell you, say, is the duty of the president to go and negotiate first before the lawmakers can come in. So we'll be waiting to see what will be their saying on this particular matter when it comes to the sanction, the whole accusation, and the undue influence by the Minister of State with our portfolio on the National Investment Commission. So I think moving forward, I won't want to hear it. I would prefer hearing from our lawmakers, because that's why they were giving oversight responsibility, most particularly Amara Conan and people that were in the executive before. He was former finance minister, and he was part of this deal dating back to 2012 when they paid the initial investment of $122 million. So,
but here will be the question. I play the devil advocate for Amara Conan in as much that I don't agree with him, but by then maybe this guy was not sanctioned.
That's what I'm saying. The Sally left government into a deal that he was in sanction. He began sanction in 2015, and the deal was signed 2010, and they made the first payment in 2012. So he was not sanctioned by then. So that's
so are you saying that Joseph Boakai then basically try to pick up from where they stopped?
From where they stopped. There is now a new investor. He just using a cover of command to seal the deal, because the price of iron ore has risen tremendously from $50 to now $118, with the potential to go 124. So he want to seal up the deal, and that's why to give him this deal, they got to bring another corporation to protect or cover up for him, because he's sanctioned. He cannot be directly involved into this.
It's more like the previous owner of the Chelsea Football Club, right?
Yes.
Who got sanctioned? He had to vacate.
Abramovich, the same Russian oligarch.
Right. He had to leave. Well, Monk, this is a serious problem for us as a country. This is a serious problem for us as a country. So are you saying Joseph Boakai is risking not only
risking sanction? Say it for what it is.
No, not only himself, but the country at large.
Yes.
Because that's a risky risk he took for himself, but the country at large. Are you saying this is a risk he's willing to throw the country into problems with other nations, especially Europe, our partners in Europe,
the EU
and the US? I mean, these are our biggest partners that fund most of our things that are going on in the country. Let's be honest. Most of our projects. And Joseph Boakai is willing to do business with, again, nobody should come here and say Joseph Boakai doesn't know about this. Joseph Boakai is aware of this. In fact, it goes back to the days when you were with Ellen.
Yeah.
President Joseph Boakai is fully aware of this.
And he was in the Senate, so he's not new to this deal.
And in fact, he signed up on this deal in the Senate the very first time. He signed up on as president of the Senate on the guys scheme the very, very first time when they doing the Ellen government. So he knows them. He knows the players. We are in some serious problem. but not from an international standpoint. From a national standpoint, Monk, I don't know in what way you would describe the reserve of a country and why is it important? Why do you think the reserve of a country is important? Because the two reserves we have right now are Putu Mountain and the Wologizi Mountain. And Joseph Boakai is willing to sell both of them. He's ready to sell them. He doesn't care. He's ready to sell them. So what saying you? Why do you think reserve?
That's coming because I see him smiling and smirking. Let him come here a little bit.
What say you?
What the possibility for Joseph Boakai to sell two mountains? It's not possible. They're not selling the mountains, even if they decided to go into an agreement. You cannot, as executive branch of government, unilaterally do anything in Liberia without the legislature that constitutes of 100 and some people representing Liberians. So what's the possibility? No.
Did you read it?
Now, if you go into an agreement with any company, I read the article. I've been reading the article over and over. If you went into an agreement, sometimes those agreement goes for 4 years, 5 years.
Did the executive go into agreement?
Under your administration.
Let me ask you this question.
They have not. They have not. The executive. Yeah.
Did the executive go into an agreement?
The executive haven't gone into an agreement yet.
No, the executive went into an agreement. The executive went into an agreement with the PGL company. They went into agreement as evidenced by that. The Minister of Justice signed off on it. The key people who signed off on it signed off on it. The Minister of Mines and Energy signed off on it as well. The only person that they were waiting for, and that person put up resistant, was the concession. That's it.
That
The entire executive group have already signed off on it.
Yeah, let me come back now, Steve. That agreement that they will ever go into, if they agree among themselves as executive, the people who make that agreement to be very legitimate, they are the legislature.
So I agree when we get to the legislature.
That non-refundable fees. If the people pay that non-refundable fees, they themselves doing it at their own risk, because if they bring it to legislature and legislature say, we not agree on this deal, that means the government will not pay that money. That one a complete vlad, that free money.
Sekou,
We will
Sekou,
get tired.
Sekou, that will take a while at a time.
Yeah.
Do you agree that
Sekou.
the executive, hold on, let me ask you, do you
Yeah.
agree now that the executive they sign off on it first? I agree with you that you got to go to the legislature, but do you agree that the executive sign off on it first? Let's establish that base first.
Yeah, the executive sign up on this. Some kind of way.
Okay, great. Moving on to the legislature, do you live in Liberia? I want to ask you that question again. Do you live in Liberia?
I ain't Grand there.
Very good.
I ain't
Grand Judah is in
I
Liberia.
live here in
It's
Liberia,
working.
yes.
It's in Liberia. Okay. The reason I asked that question, more coming, I will tell you why I asked that question. Because we'll come to the legislative part of it.
You know,
More go ahead.
Sekou said something that got me laughing in the background, right? Sekou, you want to believe that that an investor will look at 165 million and put it down in the memorandum of understanding and forfeit that money and just let it to go free, right? Because
But they said no more free. They
Huh?
said no non-refundable. That means
Yeah,
you're taking your own risks.
No, it's a risk. But a businessman will do his risk except if we putting opinion to a deal. So most definitely, you see, there's a game that will keep playing like Bureau. They will tell you, say, oh, it must come to the lawmaker for them to sign. It was these same lawmakers that blamed Madam Sally for signing 62 bogus concession agreement. Because yeah, it's how it works, Steve. They could care less about whether the country benefit from this deal. They know that when it comes to them, it's all about brown envelope and kickbacks. If Joseph Burger will not be patriotic enough to see that this is not a good deal, or the deal is not good for Liberia, if he signs up to the deal, it gets to the lawmakers, most definitely will go through. Because you know what they're going to do at that stage? They will just bribe them. You're talking about a deal worth in upward $2 billion, right? You think the lawmaker could care less about the clauses in that deal, whether it benefit Liberia or not, when the executive sign up on it? They know they won't be taking the blame. At the end of the day, they're going to blame the president. It was the same thing we've been playing. When people used to come out with the argument, Madam Sally signed bogus concession agreement. I said, but what happened to the lawmaker? They are about it. Madam Sally is an individual. Why they never objected to this deal? Even the Joseph Burger.
But it was not Madam Salif. It was not Madam Salif or President Salif who signed up on it. It was not. Guess what? It was proposed by the same Joseph Boakai because he was in the president of the Senate. It was proposed. It came from the executive, proposed it to the legislature. For guess what? Edwin Snow was on the same station, and he said one of his regrets was signing those concession deals. They signed it and they took it on to the president. And guess what? The president co-signed onto it. Joseph Boakai signed onto those deals. Look, let me say this before we get to the lines. You see, the behaviors that we have, they don't change. They only subside or they get worse based on different factors. We've said this before and we'll say it again.
Let me come in quickly, Steve.
Let me finish my thought now, please.
Okay,
Let me finish my thought. Oh, go ahead, because go ahead. Go ahead, please.
You see, I don't want to say that sometimes it is good to have a dictator in the country. Sometimes, I don't want to say it, but I would just try to say something like that. You see, this country, the too much democracy that we're having in this country, we keep seeing this country backward a little bit. I've seen this. You have Wologis Mountain sitting over there, relaxing itself. You have the Putu Army that have this kind of reserve as one of the largest reserves in the world, not just Liberia. You have the Mano River Mountain in Grand Cape County and that of the Bomi Mountain. These are all mountains in the have reserve. You have Ellen Johnson Sirleaf who came. She tried a little bit opening or having company to work with Puchu that employ countless numbers of Liberians. For the last 12 years, you have Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. I mean, you have George Weah who came in the country. As we speak, there's no company for the last 6 years that taking over the mountains for operation. Everything was being politicized. Now you have Joseph Boakai coming. If there'll be too much politics, too much bureaucracy, that this thing happened, this thing not happened, Joseph Boakai administration will not succeed in bringing one company to this country because of too many bureaucracy and all kinds of political things. Then you have the next president coming. You care to know how many Liberians in the country that are really suffering, that need jobs, and everybody will only be hiring or looking at government jobs and government jobs and government jobs. Nothing will happen. I don't know, but there's a see how best these very people who are sitting back and pushing all these things that look, this one might not happen. The people will take our country reserve. What the essence of having country reserve and looking at people keep suffering and waiting for bureaucracy for the country reserve to be looked at appropriately or bureaucratically before you can have people working and making money? The tension will be on you guys in America. I will call you to tell you, Mama, it's not easy today. I need rest. I will call mom and tell mom, it's not easy today. I really need something. But if these companies are working in numbers of Liberians and getting small things, my brother, the other companies that are in the company, the government will have some rest, but there'll be tension in this country.
So we're finding hard
so
to
that the people keep working on bureaucracy. The people want to say our this, the people want to say this, the people want to say this. That's where I stop.
Well, Sekou, before we go to the line, I don't think doing what is right in government has anything to do with bureaucracy. And I don't think also the government can be that broke to the point wherein they will just rush to sell all the reserve because they want money. That's a very risky place to go. Because you have to think about the future. You really have to think about the future. It can't be about what you eat today. It can't just be about today, and today. So that means every government that comes with no plan to be able to raise revenue or to do anything to benefit the people's life, they should just go and just sell all the reserve. I mean, how do we operate? How do you live like that? How does the government help the people? Look, in America here, let me remove this. So Sekou is back. Like I was saying to Sekou earlier, we have to get to the point where we can't say because in Liberia can say not because you hungry that mean or not because you greedy or hungry that mean you greedy or whatever it is. I've forgotten some of those talks. But I'm saying this to say, Sekou, we can't say the government should just go.
Not because you're hungry, then you allow rat to get in your throat.
Yeah, so at this point, we can't just say President Boakai should just go and make negotiation and just sell the reserve or just give the other one or let the bureaucracy and the company then will come. No, there are processes and there are steps. Let me say this to you, Sekou. If we don't preserve, if we don't save some of these things for the next generation, we're doomed as a country. Let me be honest with you. Every country that is well-meaning has a reserve. Because the next generation has to come. You and I now, the talking we do here today, more likely so we might not experience the change that we want in Liberia because we're aging. So we can't sell everything. No, we can't do that. And even if we decide to sell some, it has to be to the right people. We got to do what is right. Let me tell you something. The reason why we cry on the government, and I want to ask you if you're in Liberia, the reason why we cry on the legislature is because the legislature during the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf time, in the voice of Chairman Gonglo, they legalized brown envelope. They gave all the men in brown envelope, all of the son, all these deals that you have today that's not benefit. Today, you and I, the Labrepo, they have not benefited from Asala Mida and other things. Some of these deals that they receive.
Good. So
we can't say
yes.
let's just sell Putu Mountain, let's just sell the other one, let's just sell the other one. No, we can't do that. Let the government create avenues to generate revenues. That's what you do as a government. So we just sell everything in the country. No matter what, sell the country too. Because when you sell everything and your people don't get anything, I can tell you that there's 2 billion that they're talking about. The Liberian people will not even smell fine if they do was to go through. Joseph Boakai, the legislature, they were divided among themselves. Come and build houses in this country, in the United States and other places. Take the money, go invest in other places. That's what they would do. And they will come out to you and say they regret. Edwin Snow, yeah. And he said he regret. That was one of the biggest mistakes. Did he ever bring back the money that they gave him? Did he ever bring back the money that they gave him? And he went build a big old house in that place there. And he enjoyed his big ball. He got money to run his campaigns and other things. So we can't say these things, man. We're patriotic and we love the country. You know, we have to.
Steve, so quickly, let me just say this. Respectfully disagree with my brother. You know, when you talk about, oh yes, you know, you got to allow the company to come in. First of all, my brother, let me say this. Look, we have so many companies here in Liberia, especially when there were 66, I think, PUCOS agreements that were signed during the previous government, or maybe we can say the uniparty government. And up to date, some of the companies are still here in Liberia. Like, for example, ArcelorMittal. And the people keep crying. You have ArcelorMittal, you have Beermont, you know, you have so many local companies that also, you know, treating our people bad. So I think before you can come in, or maybe before you can give way to another company, you should be able to maybe put up a system or be able to treat our people good. Because Steve, one of the reasons why Liberia is not growing is because of the bad system, the bad labor system, where in this world, like for example, you have maybe a ArcelorMittal, right? And you have trouble because Liberia have laws, especially where they talk about the decent work act, right? That talk about skills and unskilled people. So when in this world you have skilled people up to date or up to now, they are working. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe I'm feeling that so we can take some calls because we want to definitely allocate enough time for our people to that. I beg you, feeling that so we can take some calls, please, Chief.
Okay, good. So where in this world you have skilled people who are still working and they are not even getting their just benefit. So just go back to my colleague, my brother, Sheikh Kurman, as to even before you or maybe accept another stranger or maybe guest, make sure that your house is clean. So if your house is not clean, there's no need for you to accept any stranger or maybe any guest. So that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Sekou, will you be able to take some calls? I know you're having some serious trouble with the internet back and forth. I'm not sure of the possibility of taking some calls from Sekou's end. Sekou, will you be able to take some calls?
I don't think he's hearing you. Maybe he's muted.
No. Yeah, Sekou,
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you.
Can we please take some calls, please? Yeah, Sekou, they're not making it. Melbourne, my man, you need to switch because it's not easy. Sekou trying to face things, but he's not making it.
You know, Sekou sounded like, you know, I see some of our big brothers there. You think that, like I say, the people who you think to know better when you hear them analyzing things, you can't believe what you are saying. The idea is that Liberia is so desperate, there is no need in keeping these mountains, so you could sign a bogus concession agreement, even at the detriment of the country, just because you are so desperate. And at the same argument they made when George came with the whole coastal highway thing, that you should do a resource swap. And this same water gives him mount. It was what brought the confusion with a weird deal that never went through, that they wanted to do a resource swap in exchange for money, claiming that they come to build roads, that you can just mortgage the entire country. Because while you are desperate, you need road. It's the same argument that literally making. And guess what? The thing is becoming a trend. Even if you do the deep dive into the whole Wologizi deal, They seen some African criminals that were investigated in its own country. Why is the Joseph Boakai, after being vice president, knowing where all the glitches were, why are you still making the same mistake and going to these criminals with shady characters and shady past with fake corporations to sign a deal with them? Because the Grumman Corporation, also owned by this South African man, who is saying that he got some interest or stake in the 285 F moving machine. That's supposed to be something like a signature fee or some kind of a bonus in exchange for a better deal. So why you keep dealing with criminals? Now
Well,
they came to the Putu Mountain, now they will get money that got cloud over the whole deal in this 285 F moving machine. Why is it that this Mr. Cleans is always dealing with shady corporation that got history of corruption and bad business dealing everywhere? So it's not on the Putu Mountain, even the Wologisi too.
Well, I don't before Melbourne takes when you have the calls, just let us know you can interrupt anytime. Once you start taking calls, let us know.
So that means I have to announce the people announce to the people that we are about to take calls. So a minute 0777 382 for 0777 382. Okay, so I may use line 1, then we'll go to line 2. 0777 285 961, or better stay 0777 382 941. Again, 0777 385 961. That's the number to call. Yeah, so Steve, you want to take calls?
Yes, please. Whenever someone comes in, just let us know. You can jump in, and then you got a call. But just to what Monk was saying, to be quite honest, some people
got a lot of calls coming already.
Yes, once you're ready, just let us know. You know, Monk, don't waste your time with certain people. Certain people I don't even regard them again. I don't regard them because they see where they are sycophants, who they are. They're not serious about certain things. We talk about national issue, and you say they might just say the places. And they might just
yeah, my brother, we're good. Go ahead, your name and from where, Jones? Okay, go ahead, brother.
No, but let's get each person a minute so that we can have more people, please.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So keep the calls coming 0777.
Yeah, let me get 1 minute each so that we get more calls.
That's another number to call, or better still call 0777 285 961. To this call, good evening. Hello, you say what? All right, we didn't really get you clear, but to this call, good evening.
Melbourne, please increase the volume, Melbourne.
My name is Hussein Bill, and I call from around
All right.
You know, many times I follow this conversation, and sometimes I play the listening role than calling. But let me say this. This is a systematic pattern. And it just behooves my imagination when our brothers who in the United States just run through Facebook and even on the ground to see the reality of
Hey, hello. The people on the countdown. Maybe you don't know. Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello. So these people, they count down every week, or maybe sometimes every month, or sometimes after every 6 months, or every year. So don't say that, in fact they don't know. They know. So go ahead. Don't go to the issues.
I know you have to plan it yourself. So let me make it plain. And let me say this, give you the assurance. This government is tolerant. This government will hold every criticism. You understand? I want to encourage and end on this note that you the guts and the courage. Whatever the government does, the right, you should have that courage and confidence. When people hear this government has done this positively, and yes, of course, it is welcoming. But continue criticize and criticize. You talking about investors coming to Liberia. How investors come to the country when you sit in America and investors are and tell the investors.
So what happened to the first investment that been made here in Liberia? I still been to yeah,
another son of my
Let's get another person. Let's get another person. No, we need more people to interact, please.
Thank you so much, Chief, for being part of the show. Let me see to this caller. Good evening. All right, 077. Let me the line keep blinking back to back to this call. Hello. Yeah, my brother. Go ahead. Yeah, we good. Go ahead, Chief.
The rest of the crew in the United States. So God continue to bless you. Look, anybody that get back in this for this country, God will not bless you. And let me get them my brother in great deal. Look, you're not for equal to Costa. Costa, they're for today, they not get anything. So you come here today to back for them and I'm going to share about reserve. You're president. So to share about reserve. Why are you behaving to also? They think about everything they want to eat. If this president was like people, they think we're going to dance out people today. How many boys have done that? How many boys have done that? You answer that question. So you talk about, oh, the Labrador, I just purpose to you that people just stop the team, man. And after buying a coach of like God, people that stay with the one. Thank you. Just put your two letters of out there for and just then take a get this and job around here.
All right.
What the purpose is doing to share our country.
All right. Thank you, Chief. Thank you so much. So today's caller, good evening. Hello. Keep a calls coming 077
Yeah, we'll do 1 minute each if you are.
Nice one. Today's caller, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Go ahead, Chief. Your name and where join us.
This is Chris calling from Mount Barbara and I'd love to follow these are the comfort decision I'd like to follow actually. First, all of these reserves that they are talking about,
Wow. It's still off the line. I don't know for what reason. Maybe your calls have been him on us or something happened. So this caller, good evening. Hello. Wow. The line is very, very jammy. And we got to
Yeah, let's take one person each 1 minute. Quick question, we can get more callers in, please.
Yes, indeed, Steve, you are correct. 077 285 961. That's the number to call to this caller. Good evening. If a phone get in fact giving problem, please don't call because we're not be hearing feedback. Let me see to this caller. Good evening. We're not getting you. Hello. Yeah, we're good. Go ahead, your name and where you join us. Okay, go ahead, boss. But you know how many contributions these people are making for us as people back home? Yeah, go ahead.
Something that will affect us tomorrow when they raise the issue about they are concerned, there are other people who want to call or you know use their own money for the to participate with such a program.
All right. Thank you so much. Today's caller, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Robert, calling from 57.
Good. Go ahead, Chief.
I want to say thank you to the panel. You guys, you're continuing to do what you are doing. But people will not understand what is that we're passing through in this country. Because if the government can find what that now, if we have a form of government, I think the same.
You are sounding like someone that is crying. What's going on?
I'm not
Wow. Oh, God. I don't know, but he was crying and he just went off the line. Today's caller, good evening.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah, go ahead. Your name and from where you join us.
I was trying to get a couple of for kids here to my series.
Okay.
I really want to follow the program, but tonight, I really want to find out. Because you can listen to the program about the prayer, resources, or you have a, why is your plan about it? Should they remain on site so that people can get jobs, or should there be a recommendation made by this team to government so that we can see how best to use it, or should they keep it until forever?
So,
You're saying about it, instead of criticizing,
hello.
being on site, as they happen during the real time, or somebody said there was no job, no company coming in, nothing.
Hello.
You should be and see what criticize, what you should be that way.
Hello. Are you there?
And then,
Okay. So one of the talking point is what happened to the other companies that are here where people are protesting back to back. What are you doing about them?
okay, then what can we do now? That recommendation should be made, they are made so that we all can sit down and what can be a thing, instead of all those things, no, so they all so that just bringing everything to politics, using everything around here, but I don't really think that would be the way out to develop this.
You don't say answering the question. Thank you so much for being part of the show. You know, answering the question. Today's caller, good evening.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, Chief.
Yeah, I'm Dimo, from Mamba, and these are the shows that really like to follow. They are discussing about the reserve of this country. And actually, when you look into the issues of President Joseph Human Morgan,
Wow. Sorry, though, that you stay off the line. Maybe your credit was harmonized. I don't know, but so sorry. Today's caller, good evening.
what do you remember?
Yeah, man, brother, go ahead. Your name and from where you join us.
Lorenzo Baba, you might Manila, for long before England.
Okay, boss.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. We'll listen to you.
Yeah, thank you. My concern been drawn to this, thinking about it, our brothers and sisters, mothers, auntie that returned to Liberia, that stayed away for so many years for this LTC boss to place kind of category. If you put the ratio out of 100%, 80%, then our aunties, our uncles, our sisters, our brother, 80%, meaning about 500, 600 Ethiopian out of them that figure that came in. So we ask you to please track that statement.
Who now? Who?
I mean the L Triple RC boss.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. The L Triple RC boss. He needs to do that. If you don't do that, we are in one accord to make sure to assemble at the court to make sure the issue read against him for delegating our mother, brothers and sisters that still out all these years that were that hard to keep in, not to honor them but to delegate them. We cannot treat our brothers and sisters, our aunts, our uncles, our grandmom in this kind of environment. 50%, Yvonne. 50%.
Yeah, seriously, according to their own observation and maybe their own statistics, that's what they
Yep.
said. So,
Yeah, maybe we'll take two more. We'll take
Yeah.
two more calls, and then we'll take some calls from the USA while you stay on the radio. Then we'll react. Can we take two more,
Hello,
please?
I'm not getting you.
Can we take two more calls?
All right.
Yeah, and then we'll take calls from here and
Yes.
react.
Look at the time. You're right. So let's go to good evening. Hello? Yeah, my brother, go ahead. No time. Your name and from where you join us. Okay.
Yeah, brother, I just want to say something to understand about our country. You see, one somebody will visit mountain people are calling, talking, say they are criticizing the government, they are criticizing the government. And the key criticizing the carry on at the end of the day, so we have to forget about it. They want to see them people talk, they are at the end of the day, they will say, oh, the criticizing, how to call it, children program government. But just imagine, look into this now. They are talking about investors. But look at see the money they are making. See the money they are making. They are not capable to even to build company by themselves. They're not able to do it. They're not able to, how to call it, go factory, the go to work class. They want all of them. They want to input all. They keep on doing all of them. But they're not doing it. Then what they are working for? These are one of the problems to our country. Because
All right. Thank you so much. Even though the lawmakers, the public work ministers, after all of the struggle and everything, they still say go and see no more. So this call good evening. Yeah, go ahead.
yes, how are you?
Yeah, my brother, we're good. Oh, thank God for life.
My own contribution is the organizations that are already operating are benefiting the Liberians. So every concession area that the project comes at satisfaction. And then the recent thing that happened in Kenya, people lost their life. There's no regret to that. So if you not put yourself in rush to sign another construction deal until they can able to manage and settle the other problem that on ground, you're not able to even control the few ones that are on ground. So you want to bring more to cause more chaos. So which means you want to benefit those people that are coming with the deal. It's not for the Liberian. That money will only benefit you. They love because the executive and the people who are up there. And the people who are going to suffer. Based on MRT, people now went to MRT for good 5 years. They can't be able to buy them to pay their costs because what? They're not benefiting. That's all. You see?
All right.
There's no need to rush. There's no need to any constitutional experience for now. So for them, unless when they get any agenda, but there's no need to rush.
All right. So thank you so much, Steve, Mr. Monk, and the rest of the panelists.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyone, those of you from the diaspora that would like to participate, please feel free to call us. We'll leave on the hour mark today. Monk, what is your reaction based on the callers, based on those who've called so far?
You know, it's the same thing, and what will keep you, it will leave you scratching your head in the situation of Liberia. That's why I keep saying on the show, I will say repeatedly, there is no outlet for Liberia. It's the very same old thing, the politics and this whole idea that somebody want to play defense. You see, before the election, these people told us that Joseph Boakai was going to be the next president, Turbo, because he was there before. He saw all the loopholes. He saw all the problems, all the glitches. He was going to be the one that would fix it, right? The United Party government of Manantali is noted for one thing. The label, the stigma was the signed 66 bogus concession agreement, right?
Yes.
The argument now, the sedition used to make, the same argument the Sanama Swan is making right now because of how they call themselves. It's not me saying it. That Labra is so desperate. Labra needs job. You know, we had to say we should take money even from the devil. We could care less about where the money coming from, whether the corporation exists. Once we want to build road, we should just take money, even using our resources to swap or deal. I understand the intricacy of this deal. The argument we should just take it. It's the same argument these guys are making. We need job. Okay. You are telling me that Labra can get a better deal in the negotiation from people who are considered to be criminals? The man who is associated with the Wologizi aspect of the mountain that tied to the 285 F moving machine. It's a renowned criminal that investigation was conducted against him by Jacob Zuma in South Africa 2014. He took money from the poor rural development account and their land reform. Cell phone maker chip, he already in criminal activity. You want me to believe in this day and age that you're going to a deal with this man and get a better deal? You want me to believe that a Russian who is sanctioned by the US and the European Union that is bringing a shady company from Dubai to gain extra protection to use a backdoor channel to sign a deal that you can get a better deal for him? When in fact there are thousands of other potential investors. Let me give you a typical example, right? This guy who just took over from Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore, you know exactly what he's doing? He came out with the idea that we cannot be selling these resources just like that in this raw state. He nationalizing all the state resources to use it as a bargaining chip to negotiate better loan deal. You see the approach he's taking? He not just selling the raw material though. He telling the people of Burkina Faso that why they calling the new Thomas Sankara, I'm not doing business as usual. Even though we need investment in the country, we will do it the smarter way. Let me give you one example. I think I shared an article with you. The Wagner group in Niger, one of the reasons the people of Niger kicked the French out because they believe they are, how they call it, they are, how they call it thing for, how they call it, man,
Uranium?
the uranium. That the French were getting that uranium on the pennies on the dollar. They brought the Russian in and negotiated better deals that they should do, that they should get at least up to 20 or 25% of the resource, the proceeds from the resources. You are telling me that rather than Joseph Boga doing something innovative, something new, you want to take the same path that CDC took because you want job or because you want to create opportunity. How many jobs? Okay, we've been selling iron ores from the 60s up to now. How many jobs? The only thing I know growing up in Liberia, this company will come, they will man that particular, they will drill those mountains, take all that iron ore and leave that empty hole, and they'll just pack their bag and go. It happened with it happened to the other people in Yekepa, it happened in Bombing County, the bombing hole. So it's the same old thing. You're not bringing nothing new. There is no new idea. You're not trying to increase. I thought Joseph Boga was saying, I was vice president. Now that I'm president, I want to renegotiate the terms of all the bogus concession agreement I was signed on Madam Salif. But yet you are signing deal with criminals, even worse than the previous one you did. So how is there a change? And you got people here playing defense, when in fact the future of your children, because they are the last two reserve you have in Liberia, the largest. I don't know of any resources sitting anywhere that will be having more value, financial value, more than the Putu Mountain and your Wologisi Mountain. So that's why I asked the question today. If the two mountains are gone and you cannot get a better deal out of them, then what become the future of Liberia? And people here playing defense. Okay. And the problem is bro, people don't know when to play politics.
I got a caller here really quick. Let's take this caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? We're trying to squeeze this last caller on before we go off the radio.
Yes, Steve, good afternoon, man. Good afternoon to all and the guys in Liberia. Great topic, man. Very fascinating. But listen, Steve, I mean, the kind of excuse that people are giving on the issue, even the fault must set aside by the government. The illegality of the process itself needs to be questioned. That's one. Two, the very President Bwaka to himself, he's a signatory to the 64 or 63 bogus agreement in our country. Now that he has the presidency, like this monk, nothing really stated, he came at the presidency, he not even public this today, say, you know what, the fact that this agreement with the signature, he might keep it as president now, let me deem it fit to revisit them. No. Now, people are talking about, the Liberia need job. One of the agreements that is strangling our economy order is the APN deal. That today Liberia is stuck with for 25 years. What is it benefiting the country? Can they see that today the economy, the gateway to our country's economy, is strangulated by an agreement that was signed by the federal government that was locked in. No government can revisit that. Even the weird government was strangulated by that particular agreement. He could never challenge it or do anything about it. Because to put a clause in it for that. What makes you think that these mountains that they are selling today, they got classified as selling, they will not enter into such an agreement to tie the government down with it. Nobody's saying that this country doesn't need to be developed. Simple. Let me tell you guys, Steve, beginning today you see that what Tura took over, he didn't care the ramification, even if it caused Guinean to live in poverty. He said you are going to preserve the natural resources of our country. You ask France to leave because we are the Guineans are benefiting. And today the Guineans are benefiting after 50 years of tourist position. So you can't come in there because of desperation. You sell the entirety of the resources of the country without going through the process. For crying out loud, what will your partners, especially, whether we like it or not, American government is not dictating to us, but I can tell you squarely, it's not going to take it lightly, especially of a guy that is economically sanctioned. Because that is a classical money laundering process we're going through right now. You know what? We're going to put the money to another third party, and then eventually it gets clear, it come back to us. It's not going to happen. Thank you, man, Steve. I know we got a lot to talk about, but I didn't want to do that. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Man. Thank you. Let me squeeze in the last caller here. Milbo, I beg you, please. We'll just give him a 1 minute. This caller called while we were on the phone. I just couldn't click over because Yes, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from, please? You have a minute. Hello?
Yeah, yes, Steve.
Yes, you're on.
Yeah,
You're on. Make your point, please.
yeah, okay, thank you. I'm really love for opposite view to be honest on the show, but sometimes when I listen to my brother's people, I find it difficult to really again. Seku, we are discussing for making a deal that is illegal. They talk about all the really she got the observation for the president. The role the woman play is not there to do a concession. Concession there for people that do concession agreement. She's not there to do that kind of deal that she's running. You talk about almost 30 million worth of things concession. They say yes, that's a observation. Look at how it's happening.
Thank you.
Thank you for the show.
All right. So, folks, let me hear from Monk. Monk, let's get your parting comment for today because today will be on the hour's mark. Because we'll leave early. The people who don't want to show the internet down, bro.
Yeah. You know, my parting comment today, I see why I think I don't know if the World Bank or the UNDP came out with that article or that particular statistic that we are the second in the world when it comes to the lowest IQ. I think it's one of the most accurate prediction I've ever seen in recent time. The way where people think I can barely honestly I can't get it. You want me to believe you can get a better deal by engaging into a concession agreement with criminals when you could renegotiate or even negotiate for favorable deals that went bad. And you're talking about the two biggest reserves in your country. The two that are left. I don't know whether they are deposit or diamond or go anywhere or I know the two largest deposit you have in Liberia at the moment. So Wologisi and your Putu man. If you can get better deals from those two, then tell me where's going to be the future of Liberia? And you play quarterback.
But Monk,
and you think it's political.
Monk, how can Joseph Boakai say one of his goals is to fight corruption, but he's willing to do deal with corrupt people who are sanctioned? How?
Yeah,
that's contradiction.
Yeah. So
I mean, either way, we'll play our part. For me, I'm not too bothered with those people that are saying, sometimes I feel sorry for our people. No disrespect. I feel sorry for them. Their level of thinking is what they know. It's what they know. You think at the level, what they know, what you've been experienced, what you've been exposed to. All in their mind is they don't care about the man. They come with job or whatever it is. The other company that they agreement for, like King, what a job you got. And they just kill Liberian in King job. You're benefiting everything. Hold it. You're benefiting anything. Hold it. You're protesting for social corporate development money, or they should help you out with social corporate development. Those people then come because of the deals that they make with our lawmakers and our president and other things. They exploit they don't only exploit the country, they exploit they deposit poisons and stuff in the water and other things to hurt the next generation. You come and say, hey, we'll give you a job. We'll give you a job. What kind of job? What kind of job? You're antagonized or who talk for you on a daily basis. That's fine. We will keep talking. We will keep pointing out these facts. And hey, one thing I know, our partners, the European Union, the United States, and other serious minded countries, their eyes are on the exact deal that you guys did. They're aware of it. Just so you know. They know. And all of you who sounded, they know you. I see you want to throw Mamaka ability on the bus. Good thing is on the recording, Mamaka ability said the Minister of State was there, Grace B were there, other people were there. They were part of the negotiation. Out of a sudden, under her 1 and 4 now. Tomorrow we'll try to play the recording for Mamaka ability, play the video, so that you can see it for yourself again. So this was a concocted effort. All of them participating there. Yeah. But thank you so much. Melbourne, thank you to you and the team, folks. Let's leave it there for today. We'll be back by the grace of God tomorrow. Let's have a good day, good night, good week, and as we head into the weekend, have a good day.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We're talking about podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. What is our people who waiting to serve? Blessing, assignment, and